a Senate chamber. If the king speaks, his word is law. And if the seal is put upon it, it's finished. The only time it can be reversed is for you to get the king to change his mind. And that's the hardest thing you can ever find. And so Israel definitely was going to be annihilated. There was a power they needed to revert things. And that power is favor. But how did they engender it? In Esther chapter 4 verse 16, when Mordecai called her, you cannot be at peace at this time when Israel is being threatened. You have to rise up and play your part. And if you fail to, he said God will raise help from another place. Even Mordecai was hoping that because Esther is queen, Esther can walk into the king's chamber and seduce the king or talk to the king, and the king will change his mind. Unfortunately, it was not even her time on the timetable to see the king. So even if she had the power to change the heart of the king, she didn't have the right to enter, because according to the law, you don't enter until you are summoned. And so this one was a must. It would happen. But Esther knew a secret that Mordecai didn't know. He said, take a 3 days fast and fast for me. He said, and I will go into the king's chamber, which is against the law. And he said, if I perish, I perish. That is not a casual statement. Because if you enter when you are not called, you will perish. They will behead you. He said, but I am willing to take the risk of my life to save Israel. However, there is a slim chance. And that slim chance is tied to the mystery of fasting. And the Bible said Esther and her maidens and Israel fasted for 3 days. And suddenly, oh, this lady's power was supposed to be her beauty. Why will you now denature yourself and disfigure yourself when you should look ugly? There is a kind of beauty that is not morphological. There is a kind of beauty that is spiritual. There is a beauty that eyelashes can produce. There's a beauty that good garment can produce. But you see, a king looks beyond eyelashes, because a king sits on a throne. He has seen all the shapes. And so the only thing that can get the attention of a king is the perfume that comes from the chambers of heaven. And so when the lady fasted, she stepped in, and the king looked upon her and called her to come. Before she asked, the powers of favor went to work. And the king said something. He said, what do you want? He said, ask me. And before she asked, the king made a statement that suggested he was not trained. Because a king's word is law, so kings don't talk quick. Meanwhile, this king told her, whatever you ask me, are you okay? That was the mistake one king made, and said, ask me anything. And they asked for the head of a prophet. He couldn't change his mind, because if you do, you'll be considered a weak king. But this king, favor, you know, favor is like a spear. He didn't know what he was saying. Even his utterance were given to him. He said, ask, even up to half of my kingdom. The man was willing to share power. What kind of authority? But the Bible said the reason that manipulation was happening was because Esther had found favor. But that favor was not a gift. It was engendered by fasting. And so when men fast, they are rubbing a perfume that they cannot see. When men fast, they are stepping into an economy of favor. An economy that has the power to break protocols. An economy that has the power to change the heart of a king. If you study the whole scripture, only one being has the authority to change the heart of kings. It's God himself. He said,